Before Gaia, pressure could not exist because nothing had to hold anything. Before Tartarus, nothing could accumulate because everything could escape. Now both exist. Ground that does not move aside, and depth that does not return what enters. When a foundation exists and a final below exists, something new appears automatically. Not force, not violence, not intention, pressure. Pressure is not an action. It is a requirement. A requirement placed on anything that remains. This episode is not about collapse. It is about why collapse becomes possible. Because when something must stay and something else cannot return, existence begins to carry weight. And weight does not need motion to matter. Stay, because from this moment on, nothing that exists is truly neutral anymore. Gaia does not change position, but position changes meaning. Before depth, ground was endurance without burden. Things rested, but nothing pressed. Now something presses, not downward, but inward. What cannot return below must be supported above. Support is not choice. It is requirement. Gaia does not act. She holds. Holding is not movement, but it is not rest either. This is the first moment where remaining has cost, not moral cost. Structural cost. Existence begins to feel heavier. Not emotionally, geometrically. The world does not resist yet, because resistance requires opposition. For now, everything still fits. But fitting is not freedom, it is containment. Pressure does not appear suddenly. It accumulates. Every irreversible state adds requirement to what remains. The more that cannot return, the more must be held. Nothing breaks. Nothing cracks. But space becomes less forgiving. Distances shorten. Paths narrow. Not because something moves, but because options disappear. Gaia becomes the place where these losses collect. Not as memory, as load. Load does not announce itself. It simply stays. And staying without release creates tension even before tension is named. This is why pressure is silent at first. It does not scream. It waits. Because waiting is what systems do. When no alternative exists. Pressure is not force. Force requires direction. Pressure requires only confinement. When space cannot expand freely, what exists within it must adjust. Adjustment does not mean change. It means accommodation. Accommodation accumulates. Before this, motion could resolve imbalance. Now motion only rearranges it. Gaia becomes the surface where rearrangement stops working. Not because she blocks, but because there is nowhere else for pressure to go. Nothing pushes upward. Nothing pulls downward. Yet weight increases.
Upper space constrained by
This
what
is the
lies
paradox of pressure.
below. Lower regions sealed
It
by
grows
conditions.
without movement. And growth without movement cannot be escaped by motion. The universe is still stable. Stability does not disappear immediately. But stability under load is different from neutrality. Neutrality forgives accumulation. Load does not. Gaia begins to hold incompatible states together. What cannot descend and what cannot rise. Holding incompatible states is the definition of pressure. No rupture yet. No separation yet. But compatibility has ended. From now on, existence requires effort to remain unchanged. Effort without motion is tension waiting. Waiting is not peace. It is postponement. Pressure does not seek release. Release becomes necessary only later. For now, pressure only reshapes behavior. Structures thicken, spaces compress. Nothing notices, because nothing can notice yet. But structure already responds.
Primordial universe.
This response is
Structures adjust
automatic,
automatically. No agent
not
implied,
chosen.
No central control.
Gaia becomes the
Motion
bearer of
stops.
consequence,
Condition remains
not
altered.
because she is alive, but because she is where consequence rests. Resting consequence is not inert. It changes what can happen next. Every moment forward, the system becomes slightly less flexible. And flexibility, once reduced, does not return by default. Pressure prepares the universe. Without foresight, preparation does not require awareness, only accumulation. Gaia does not know what will come, but she is becoming capable of breaking. Not now. Not yet. Capability precedes action. This is why Greek myth is structural before it is narrative. Things do not happen because someone decides. They happen because conditions converge. Pressure is the convergence mechanism. It aligns future events long before events exist. Before Gaia existence could scatter indefinitely, after Gaia existence becomes located, location creates vulnerability. Pressure is vulnerability without damage. Nothing has been harmed, but harm has become possible. This possibility is not dramatic. It is quiet. Quiet is dangerous because it is ignored. The universe is still whole, but wholeness is now conditional. Conditional existence
The universe
cannot remain
but no
unchanged
longer
forever.
unconditional. Existence depends on
Pressure has no morality. It does not punish. It simply accumulates until release is cheaper than holding. Cost comparison does not require thought, only structure. Gaia begins to approach that comparison. Not consciously, automatically. Every moment that passes, holding becomes more expensive. An expense without payment creates debt. Debt in structure becomes rupture later. But not yet. First, pressure must fully exist. This is why pressure matters more than conflict. Conflict is an event. Pressure is a condition. Events end. Conditions remain. Gaia is becoming a condition. Not ground alone, but stressed ground. Stress does not act. It waits. Waiting is not passive. It is cumulative. From this point forward, nothing that rests on Gaia is truly free.
Mythic existence governed by structural costs.
Freedom now requires compensation. And compensation always has limit. The universe has not reached tension yet. That comes
Pressure
next.
distributed across all structure.
For now,
No center, no focus.
pressure is diffuse. Spread across structure, not focused. Diffuse pressure is stable. Focused pressure breaks. Gaia is still diffuse, but diffusion has direction now. Direction created by depth. What lies below determines what can be held above. This asymmetry is new. An asymmetry never remains gentle forever. Pressure changes time. Before, Time healed imbalance.
Accumulated pressure, imbalances dissolve
Now,
naturally, no persistence,
time carries
no
it
memory of
forward.
strain, time
Every moment adds
Time no
load.
longer dissolves imbalance. Each
Nothing
moment
resets.
preserving what came before. Pressure.
Continuation is enough.
Thickens existence.
This is why myths become tragic later. Not because pain
No
increases,
return to baseline, no restoration to origin.
but because
Time
repair
advances
decreases.
without forgiveness. Gaia no.
Pressure is the reason repair becomes limited. And limited repair
Mythic existence prepared for tragedy, not through suffering,
defines
but through
every future
permanence.
story.
Pressure fully integrated into time.
Gaia does not resist pressure. Resistance would require direction. She contains it. Containment is the last phase before separation.
Gaia as total containment. Pressure
Separation is
contained
not
within
violence.
structure.
It is necessity. But necessity waits until holding is no longer viable. That moment is approaching. Not because anything wants it,
Approaching inevitability.
but
not
because
desire,
structure
not chosen,
demands it.
Structure itself calling for separation. Gaia is conditioned on
Pressure is invisible, but its effects are measurable. Reduced freedom, narrowed paths,
movement implied but restricted. Possibilities
increased
fewer to the full.
dependence.
Paths narrow without walls. Freedom reduced without force.
Gaia becomes the reference surface
Existence
for all of
relying
them.
on Gaia as reference. Nothing floats freely anymore.
From here,
Support
everything relates to ground. And ground is no longer neutral.
Crowd no longer neutral. Pressure integrated into existence.
Neutrality
Balance
ended when
impossible.
pressure
All
began.
relations conditioned by Gaia.
Nothing opposes Gaia yet. Opposition requires tension. Tension requires polarity. That polarity does not exist yet. But pressure is creating the need for it. The system is preparing without knowing for what.
Pressure approaching
Preparation
structural
is not
efficiency.
intention.
Uniformity becoming costly. No polarity.
It is
yet.
inevitability.
Necessity beginning to form.
Pressure cannot be removed by motion, only redistributed. Redistribution is not release. Eventually, redistribution fails. When it fails, separation becomes cheaper. That is when tension appears. Not now. Next. Gaia stands at the threshold, still holding, still intact, but no longer infinite. Limits have entered existence. Pressure is how limits announce themselves. Silently, relentlessly. This episode was not about collapse. It was about why collapse becomes possible. The next episode is not about pressure. It is about tension. About what happens when holding is no longer enough.
Pressure fully mature. Holding nearing its limit.
When pressure
Tension
demands
not
opposition,
yet, but unavoidable next.